That's the Jerry Springer most Americans are familiar with, the one who served as ringmaster for a deranged circus 5 days a week for nearly 3 decades. But in one major city, he's also known as something else: mayor. Yes, the man who made a sport of bringing us tawdry affairs and brutal fights actually served as the mayor of Cincinnati. Here he is in 1977, delivering the inaugural address as mayor.
If government, any government, is to have any positive effect on our lives, which after all is its purpose, to make life more tolerable, then that government must bear some relationship to how we live. Well, the truth is that our local government doesn't.
His biggest scandal while in politics came 4 years earlier after writing a check to a prostitute in 1974. The scandal became something of a punchline over the years, with Springer himself famously joking, "At least you know my credit's good." And to be clear, he still became mayor 4 years later. Now, throughout the coverage of this TV icon's death today, chances are you still didn't know much about his political career, because I don't. Joining us now is someone who does, Bill Cunningham, longtime veteran Cincinnati radio talk show host who's been friends with Jerry Springer since the 70s. Thanks so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, so just talk to us about his time as a politician.
If somebody could have stopped Jerry Springer like in the late 1970s and then juxtaposition that Jerry Springer to what you just showed, Dan Abrams, that is a complete disconnect. The Jerry Springer that we knew in Cincinnati, I've been in Cincinnati my whole life. I met him in 1968 when he came here with the Kennedy campaign, Bobby Kennedy, in the May 1968 primary. He came to Xavier University, where I was a student. We briefly spoke, me in my ROTC uniform, and Jerry Springer representing the Kennedy campaign. Jump ahead to the bad check. In 1971, he was elected to city council, which was terribly unusual for someone from New York with that accent, looking the way he looked, to be elected to city council was like impossible. And then like 2-3 years later, 1974, the local prosecutor, Simon Lease Jr., rock rib Republican, saw a way of getting rid of Jerry Springer. A check surfaced paid to a lady of the night for services rendered. And when Jerry was caught, he did the honorable thing. He did an apology. He'd recently been married to Mickey. And at that point, he said, "I'm quitting politics. I'm done." The next year, he runs for city council again. And of the 21 candidates, Dan Abrams, who finished first? Jerry Springer. He led the ticket. He beat everybody. His motto was, "You know you can trust me," because he told the truth about what happened. And then in 77, 78, he's selected as mayor of Cincinnati. You might recall then we had terrible snowstorms and blizzards. Jerry Springer was on snow plows. Jerry Springer was in front of supermarkets. Jerry Springer was, if there was a fire taking place, Jerry Springer was working the fire hoses with the firefighters. Jerry Springer was everywhere. And then after 2 or 3 years, he got bored, ran for governor of Ohio, I think 1982, finished third, and then became a news anchor at Channel 5, which is NBC in Cincinnati. They were last. They didn't exist in the ratings. You might recall Nick Clooney, George Clooney's father, was dominating the ratings. Well, guess who was #1 within the next year and a half and was #1 for the next 7 years?
Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer.
He ended up beating Nick Clooney. Wow, that's another fact that I didn't know. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.